Shalom. Follow Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Shalom to the elect. Now, that's a video I seen recently, and I just want to go in on a lesson about what's going to come next once the US dollar actually collapses. And for those who want to know, they know. For the ones that really don't know, this lesson for those who don't really know about this, the RFID chip will actually come after the US dollar collapse, and they're going to make it mandatory and make it to the point to where people basically backed in the corner, and if you're faithless, you're just going to take it. And like I always say, that if you take it, you ain't going to make it. So I'm going to let this video play, and I'm going to pull some precepts.
The United States dollar has been a powerhouse for some time, but now it is being slowly removed here from the world stage, not only physically, but in terms of its buying power and everything connected to it. Now, when Trump was in office, he set into motion a bunch of tariffs against China, Russia, and a lot of other countries. In the midst of all this, we had a big bloc form, 15 Asian countries comprising of 30% of the global GDP coming together, forming a unit that is pushing out the US dollar. This is being led by China. I've warned about this over and over, but this seems to be going right along with the plan here to pull back the US dollar. And at some point, the fiat currency itself is going to vanish. They're going to tell everybody, you have X amount of time to claim a credit for your central bank digital currency, which Jerome Powell and the Fed have already announced and shown us. They've already allowed all the banks to hold digital wallets. This is how they're going to start distributing their universal basic income. And once this all goes digital and they give you a time frame, they're going to say, you've got 1 year to cash in your banknotes, your fiat cash for a digital credit. And you stop and you think about all the people, all the kingpins, all the kings, the queens, whoever, all around the world that have US dollars buried, hidden, in safes, and everywhere that you could think of. Because it was the almighty dollar, huh? By design, this is all coming down. All the coinage has been taken back right in front of your face as they try to keep a lid on the metals till here at one point, that price is going to skyrocket. Because if you try to go out and buy silver right now, compared to the 26 bucks that TradingView wants to show you on the coin, or on silver per ounce, it's astronomical. It's still way up there. And this shows you that there is a divide. It's just waiting to explode. Once they pull back all this fiat, and no one has anything to hold in their hand, and it's all digital, and people still want to barter, that's when gold and silver take off. And who knows what they'll do. We've seen in history where they came and tried to take the gold from the people.
See, the elect know. Certain men know exactly what's going on. The Lord's willing, I'm of that number. I say that humbly. But through the Spirit, this is what's going to happen though. This gold and silver, yeah, that's a good method of trading. Certain can deal with the stocks and deal with bullion, copying shekels, so-called ounces of silver, ounces of gold, or grams, or whatever the scenario may be. But Esau gonna get so wicked to the point where they really just want to control, because it's deeper than just how much money you're spending. They want to have total control and know where you're spending, what you're spending, and how much you're spending, and so on and so on. Let me go through this precept real quick. It's in the book of Revelation, chapter 13, in verse 16, it says, and he caused all both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And this mark is talking about the foreheads, which I'll pull up an image about it. It actually goes into the Neuralink, which you have the guy, Elon Musk, get ready to do human trials with the Neuralink. And more than likely, they've probably been doing it anyway. Now they're just trying to put it in the open more so they can fool people into thinking it's something really beneficial, because it actually helped them move or get stronger or whatever. And I made a video recently about that. And I'll try to drop a link in the comment section up under the info of the videos. We actually go back to it to show what Neuralink been doing. It says, and that no man might buy or sell, say he that have the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Here's wisdom, let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it's the number of a man, and his number is 636. When you look at certain barcodes, let me see if I can find one. Look at certain barcodes on stuff when you go buy food or different little stuff. It's actually on there. Now, if this ain't it, and then people try to be simple. Like, oh, the overcross C's got on the left hand, that's because their left is our right, so to speak. And that makes sense, basically. They do stuff opposite. So it's damn near the same shit. They might put it in the left hand, but it's still the same chip. And this thing holds all this money, information, all this other stuff. And this is something repetitive. That's, a repetitive type video. But the scriptures are repetitive. Just to make sure you actually get it. And you got hella images on it, man. People just in the know, they know. Hand plant. It's already out. People been having chip parties. You got certain businesses that allow their workers to come in with this and actually use this. You gain access to a building, turn on a vehicle, buy stuff out of vending machine. I'm going to put some other precepts on a minute and go back to what I was looking for. So I just typed this on randomly just to look at what they want to really do. I just put in with an RFID chip be mandatory. You have RFID chips mandatory, just go down. This is radio frequency identification technology is scattered across daily life, but there are no reports of involuntary implantation in humans or reports that technology has been used for repetitious, I should say, tracking. In some states, it's actually illegal to require a microchip implantation in humans. That was just last year in August, but that's going to change though. Let's see. We go down some more to some different ones. In 2020, a London-based firm called Implant released a microchip implant that is intended to be used with any accompanying smartphone app. The primary functionality of the implant is as a storage of medical records. The implant can be scanned by any smartphone that has NFC capabilities. And it ain't just for medical records. It's more than that. You got more info on this. So basically, if you refuse an implantable RFID, you will be fired. This is how the government would employ a strategy to microchip people. People want to keep their goodies, keep all their little comfort, all this different stuff that they get by using funds. So they do away with the funds. I won't say if, when they do away with the funds. Hey man, if you ain't got faith in Yahweh, you ain't gonna have faith in him. He'll give in and actually take this. Let me go down some more real quick. I said, what countries use RFID chips? However, it is implanted RFID chips in the hands of workers, because it's already going to happen. Workers in the financial engineering sectors, too. Though the procedure is voluntary, it is also shipped the chips to other countries, including Spain, France, Germany, Japan, and China. And they over here in the U.S., too. I'm just scrolling down, just going in on a little bit of info on this. Now, you have states in the U.S. this is what I was looking for. There are states in the U.S. where it's actually illegal to do this. Most people that have it already. But these are the ones that's so-called illegal. This is just March 19th last year. It says employers are banned from requiring device implants in Arkansas, California, Missouri, Montana, Nevada, New Hampshire, North Dakota, Oklahoma, Utah, Wisconsin, according to Bloomberg Law data. It got a various amount of other states though that ain't included on that. There's actually money and all this other stuff on there. And I want to go into this too. The Neuralink. I'll go into this real quick. Now it says Neuralink put a computer chip into a monkey's skull and use tiny wires to connect it to his brain. Musk describes it as a Fitbit in your skull with tiny wires that go into your brain. And the main place when you actually look at the videos where they was testing it at, it's right in the forehead, man. So all these different little CEOs and these different executives, they all linked together up under some type of umbrella. And they have this one agenda that they want to do. And I'm going to go down to one. I'm going to just end this off. I don't want to stretch this out too much longer. Just want to go into this topic. If this was going to be the new currency, this was coming soon. This ain't going to happen no 10 years from now, no 20 years from now, none of that. He's still already got this in the works, and they're just trying to figure out a way to get people to accept it more. Ultimately, it's going to come down to forcing people to get it because people in the know, they know about it, and they like, nah, I ain't getting that. But if a person that used to fast and going without food or water, or having access to certain stuff, they're going to get in. I said, what does the Neuralink brain chip do? The processor in her brain sends wireless signals indicating neural activity in the snout. We're looking for food. Mr. Musk said the original Neuralink device revealed just over a year ago had been simplified and made smaller. It actually fits quite nicely in your skull. And they tested it out on the animals. Next, it's going on the people. Go down some more. It says it's just dangerous. It says the Neuralink potentially dangerous. It is a bunch of wires that go into your brain with a wireless interface. The wires create electric pathway from your ear to your motor cortex. And body might not like the wires or the implant. So yes, and this is exactly right. Because foreign objects like this are not supposed to be in your body. Now I'm going to this last precept. Let's see. In the book of Revelation, chapter 15, verse 2, it says, and I saw as it were a sea of glass mingled with fire, and then they had gotten a victory over the beast, and over his image, and over his mark, and over the number of his name, standing on the sea of glass, having hearts of Yahweh. And they sang the songs of Mashah, the servant of Yahweh, and the song of the Lamb, which the Lamb is somebody Yahushua, saying, great and marvelous are thy works, Lord Yahweh Almighty, just and true are thy ways, thou King of saints, who shall not fear thee, O Lord, and glorify thy name. Since thou only art holy, for all nations shall come and worship before thee, for thy judgments are made manifest. Now, the people that make it, hey, they ain't taking it. But those who take it, you ain't gonna make it. So I just want to bring this up. Lord, this edifying call like God about Shem Shah. Don't take that mark of the beast, that RFID chip, because that is the mark. Whether people want to believe it or not and play little games, when that time comes, you'll know for sure. Shalom.